Hey guys, JHub here, and I think Microsoft might be regretting buying Activision Blizzard. I know Bobby Kotick is probably off on the side with all of his money, just happy as can be, but I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the gaming world. Microsoft went on a slaughterfest just recently, axing a couple dev studios, including Hi-Fi Rush's Tango Gameworks. They've got rid of Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Studios. They're going nuts, just hacking and slashing to reduce costs. And I mean, they had that massive payout to Bobby Kotick. What was it, like $400 million just for him? And it's just, oh man, they're going nuts. I mean, if you remember, just after the acquisition, they fired like 2,000 developers under the Activision Blizzard banner. Now, they said that this was already pre-planned and that they were just going ahead and fulfilling it, but that was a lot that they got rid of very quickly, especially with Modern Warfare 2 being out, Modern Warfare 3 coming out, and needing all the help they could get to get these games out and polished, especially since MW3 was a Rush DLC converted into a game. They could have used all the help that they could get, and then now we're seeing even more things in the news about more studios getting axed, and then they said they're not even done. There's a good chance more studios, or even just more developers in general under their umbrella, are about to get laid off. Because they paid, what, $69 billion for Activision Blizzard? And the thing that is making them possibly regretting it, at least from my opinion, is the contemplation of Gamepass. They're concerned that if they put these games, these Call of Duties, the new ones coming out on Game Pass, they are going to lose a lot of money. For those of you who don't know, to make a Call of Duty every year, typically it costs $200 to $250 million. And that's crazy considering there's a lot of small indie studios out there putting out bangers for nowhere near that are way better and more just in-depth and developed and crazy. But when you look at these massive budgets, they're just massively overblown. But they're concerned that if they spend on this upfront cost to develop the game, and they put on a Game Pass where most players are paying a certain amount per month for a large library, that they're going to lose out on that huge burst of income. So they might not be doing day one Game Pass. I could see them doing it like releasing the game like normal, and then maybe 6 months in, when they notice the player base is falling off or the income for buying the new games is not coming in like crazy, then they might throw it on Game Pass. But there's a chance that you might not be seeing new Call of Duties landing on Game Pass because they just can't afford to do it. Now, I can imagine they can put the old ones on Game Pass. The question is, are they going to dump any time and resources into the games to make them like they were in their heyday, i.e. getting rid of all hackers, bringing the servers up to date and back online, and just trying to help get them populated, maybe even see if they can do crossplay? I don't think they're going to do all that. I don't think they're going to invest all that money. I think at this point, they're going to take the old Call of Duties, dump them on Game Pass, and they are what they are. I mean, we did see initially when they were in talks about acquisition and bringing them on board, we saw that the servers got fixed for all the CODs and how you can join a match in old Call of Duties faster than you can join them now. And that's just due to the algorithm. It's nuts. But now we're in this massive predicament where they just don't know if they're going to be able to make the money. And I have a suggestion to you. I don't know if anybody who works at Microsoft is watching, probably not. There is a way that you could make a ton of money and recoup your investment on Activision Blizzard to the point where you can possibly consider doing Game Pass much quicker. Hear me out. You're going to start remastering all the CODs from World at War through Black Ops 2. You're going to do a one-for-one remaster in the beginning, and then you're going to treat them like Call of Duty 4 Remastered, where they put in different DLC and stuff that you can buy. And you're going to put it out in May, after the new COD's release, so that when it's waning, you might not have the income, you drop a fan favorite, boom, huge amount of money right off the bat. Give it 2 months, around August, put it on Game Pass. Keep pumping that DLC into it, and then lead it into the next game. So for these remastered games, you'll give them enough content to hold them through the summer, but don't give it any more content when the new game drops, but maintain the servers and don't let hackers take over. If you do that, you might be able to start this reoccurring cycle of making a lot of money. Because if you saw when they initially fixed the servers, they had a massive influx of people. I think that Black Ops 1 got inevitably turned into the most bought COD of all time because of that. Don't hold me to that. I always thought it was MW3 2011 that was the most sold COD of all time. But then recently, Black Ops 1 actually took over, which is surprising me. I loved Black Ops 1. It had, hands down the best party mode ever with wager matches that we've never been able to see return. The only problem is, if they remastered Black Ops 1, what are they going to do with the COD point system? Are they just going to rename the point system or just delete wager matches? Because for those of you who don't remember, in Black Ops 1, COD points was a very integral part of the system to unlock items, camos, to do wager matches. It was very deeply involved. So I don't think they could afford to do that unless they gave it a different type of monetary system in game. But I don't know. Is there a chance that maybe the merger could be undone, or parts of the Activision Blizzard set could get sold off just because they can't properly manage it? Keep in mind when, Microsoft got Bethesda, they had Redfall and Starfield get put out, I think initially as exclusives. Well, Redfall flopped. Whether it was a good game, bad game, whatever, you could argue in the comments below. Flopped. Starfield got put out. And it seemed like it had a large push off the bat, and now it's dead. Hi-Fi Rush apparently is one of the games that a lot of people have had good reviews about, calling it an underdog and that a lot of people should have played, but now they're done. They're gone, so there's not going to be any more than that. And it's just, some of these devs got caught off guard. I think there was actually logs of one of these games getting worked on like 3 hours before the news hit that they were being shut down. So it wasn't like even the devs got a large tip-off that it was coming. It was really that fast. And a lot of people are starting to say that maybe the gaming market, or there's a bubble about to burst. It was funny because Nintendo came out and announced the Switch 2 will be coming in 2025. And I think the information on that is starting to leak, that it's in dock mode, almost like a PS4 Pro, and in handheld mode, it's like a PS4. If they can pull that off, that's going to be a decent console. I know it spec-wise it's out of date compared to the current top end, but imagine having the power of a PS4 in your hands while traveling. Now that's going to be crazy. But Microsoft is taking L after L after L. Like, Xbox physical copies are down bad. Like, the whole system itself, they lost the console war to Sony just so easily. Now I think they're trying to shift into being in the games market and pushing those out to get live services and microtransactions. There's a current rumor that they're going to try and get maybe Steam on the Xbox, or try to push their entire library onto Steam. Like, Microsoft seems like they're making a lot of impulsive moves out of nowhere, and it's probably just because they're not pulling in the money anymore. So I'm curious in the future if we're going to actually see if this whole Activision Blizzard thing will be the downfall of like the gaming side of Microsoft. I mean, Minecraft, I don't know how it's doing these days. Every so often I get the itch to go and scratch that. But rule of thumb is when Microsoft usually gets a hold of things, bad things happen. You can look at Skype with Teams. You can look at Windows 11 is now losing market share to Windows 10. Xbox is just underselling. The dev studios that Microsoft acquired for Xbox are collapsing and being shut down. I feel bad if you were an Xbox fanboy. I was always not loyal to anything. I usually just went wherever my friends were, and now that crossplay is a thing in COD, it really doesn't matter. I've even been tempted just to go to PC and hook up a controller and go from there, or play on mouse and keyboard. It all depends on how I want to bounce back and forth, but Microsoft is in a dangerous position, and it could lead to stuff starting to pop. Maybe we'll see more indie devs and indie games popping out that are quite good. I mean, over the fun time a couple years back when everybody was at home, there's a lot of indie games that came out that blew up, lasted a month or two, but made a lot of money, and then hopefully allowed those dev studios to go on and make more stuff if they just stockpiled all the cash. But it seems like anything Microsoft is acquiring right now is in a bad position, and that only makes me question, how is Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and Call of Duty going to end up holding up? I mean, Call of Duty's already in a bad place. A lot of people were saying that this last update was saving the game, whereas if you go look at the Steam charts, it's back to bleeding pretty heavily already. So I don't know. Microsoft could make a lot of smart choices that leads to a lot of money, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.